Hello again, welcome to today's attempt at that Fibble puzzle. This is Wordle, but there's a liar in every row, so maybe the T is lying, but if it is, should it be yellow or green instead? Or maybe the O, A, S or T is the one that's lying. The only way to find out is to play, and it's auto-populated that first guess, and I'm going to make use of the fact that the A is green by keeping it there and seeing what we learn. Let's go for crane and see if we learn anything useful. Oh, we do! A has changed colour, so it's clearly lying on at least one row. Let's assume it's lying up there and the R is lying there, just because it's more likely that we've got letters wrong than right. So, if that is all true, that means we're going to need a bunch of new letters, aren't we? So let's try and build. That tries 5 new letters. Oh, wow! Okay, so now I kind of would assume that the B is the liar, by the same logic that I ruled out the R and the A. The trouble is, if the B is the liar, that means we can't use any vowel. We ruled out A, E, I, O and U. So clearly some of my assumptions are wrong. Maybe the E is lying instead here, because, I mean, it's the most common vowel, so it could be the liar. That means we've got to use an E and an R. What else is a possibility? I suppose it's possible that the B isn't lying. Can I think of a word that uses B, E and R? The thing is, if I do use B, E and R, that means one of these 4 is lying as well. So maybe that's not quite so likely. If the B is lying, we've got to use the E and the R. I suppose we could use a duplicated E, that's the thing. So how about... I mean, this might be a really silly guess, but let's try refer. It wasn't a really silly guess. Okay. What on earth does that tell us? If this R is lying... No, hang on. This R can't be lying. We know we've got at least one E, because we've got a yellow one and a green one. They can't both be lying, so there is at least one E in the word. That means this E was definitely lying. So that was actually a very useful guess. So that means we've definitely got an R somewhere from this guess. So if we've got an R somewhere, this one can't be lying unless it's actually meant to be green. But the trouble is, if it's not lying, where is it going to be? It has to be 4th, probably, because this R can't. We can't have an R in 5th, basically, otherwise they would both be lying, because this one would be grey and this one would be green. If this F is lying, that is plausible, I suppose, because the R could be 3rd and E could be last. Something like serve, but of course not quite serve, because we've ruled out the S. Verve, I suppose, could be possible. Again, I just repeated the E and the R. I'm not sure repeating the E and the V is sensible, but here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. That R is definitely lying, because we know there's an R. We worked that out up here. So that means there's definitely an E, an R, and an E. So that E is definitely lying. That R feels like it's got to be telling the truth, so it feels like it's got to be the F that's lying. It's just going to be merge, isn't it? I feel like I should have got that one guess sooner. I'm not sure I'd have got it 2 or more guesses sooner. But I think if you're watching at home and you shouted that out before I did, let me know in the comments and have your 15 seconds of fame. I think there might be a few people that did get that before I did, because, I mean, sometimes I'm confident in my abilities, but this one, I think there is a good chance that some people watching it will have beaten me. So let me know if you're one of them. But we did get there in only 5 total guesses. The top row doesn't count, of course. So that's not too bad. Definitely not my best, but also far from my worst. That is Fibble. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.